doesn't make sense is that nothing makes sense.
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy.
Let's start the show.
Hi guys, Future Eddie here. So the episode you're about to hear was recorded on April 29th. It is now June, and I completely failed in uploading the video. There's a bunch of stuff that happened. I'll get into that maybe later. But yeah, the episode is outdated to say the least, but I still wanted to put it up since, we all take the time to record it, and I did edit it. So for what it's worth, please enjoy. And again, sorry it's a little late. And welcome to episode 23 of the Geek Conclave Mixtapes. I'm your host, Eddie Fregoso, and it's going to be a fun show today. We've got a 4-person party, so bring everybody in. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, we got
Hello.
Paul, Tommy, and then Jose is back, so this is going to be a fun episode. We're going to be talking about the Shang trailer that premiered last week. Give it its little more due. Just because the other thing is Mortal Kombat, so I figured I'd make it all like martial arts together. Just to give last episode more focused on Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's pretty much why that was what it was. So before we get started, though, how's everyone's week been? What's everyone doing?
Tired.
Little tired, but we're
All
good.
tired?
All
Yeah.
tired?
Yeah, I'm pretty drained. Yesterday.
I literally just got off work, so
Yeah. So yeah, yesterday I went to Disneyland, which was
Oh, I
interesting.
did see that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that video up soon.
Thanks for the invite.
It was a family thing. I mean, it's not like we're not gonna go when it opens later, but I'm excited to put the video up. There is take time for sure. The Rise of Resistance ride. I did film it. I got to film the whole thing. The only thing that sucks is now there is no pre-show because of COVID, so you don't get to see Ray's beautiful face, which is sad. And
but you still get to go on the transport, right?
Yeah, like I recorded it, but there's a bunch of plexiglass and stuff in that, so it's really weird. Like it was weird and like I don't know. It was just like it felt like kind of like an episode of the Twilight Zone, being in Disneyland the way that it was. But it was. I mean, it's one step closer to being normal. My mom and sister work there, so I'm just grateful they get to go to work. But depending on the way everything's going, especially the way it's kind of set up, I have a feeling that hopefully by like August, like it'll be somewhat back to normal over there, because a lot of the stuff seems like it's Mickey Moused, just as an attempt to be safer right now. But how's work been, Tommy? Anything new?
Same old weirdos. Same stuff I deal with. No, I haven't picked up any artists or illustrators written, so that's been good.
Anybody stood out this week when you picked up anybody?
I picked up a kid the other day and was asking me if I was a cop.
What?
How'd that go?
He was high.
Oh, okay, that's probably why. I just wanted to make sure that it was all right.
He was like, "Hey, bro, are you a cop?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not a cop." I was "Oh, some of you guys are cops." Oh, "No, I'm not a cop."
What?
He was, "Yeah, you get." Yeah, he was out of his mind. So I was trying to hear him. I like to let people like that talk because it just turns into a good story. You know what I mean?
That's funny. I'm sure it makes the drive more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
No,
right?
sure,
Well, yeah,
sure.
sometimes depending on the context of the conversation.
Yeah.
But
So.
alright.
Yeah, if he's listening in, we're not cops, all right, kid?
Yeah. I tell you about that guy. I tell you about the guy that was telling me that. I think I told you about. I don't know if I told you about the guy with the vaccine. He said that if you get the vaccine, it changes your DNA and your genomes, and you won't be allowed into heaven. And then he said, but if you take the if you don't take the vaccine, they're gonna track you down and kill you. Then I go,
What?
well, what
should've
what
told him.
options
What course
do we
do you
have?
take? Yeah.
You should have told him, bro. Do you eat any fast food?
I know.
There's
So,
so
yeah.
much stuff in that.
No, I had one of my cousins today too. He was telling me about the vaccine. What did he say? He said, um, uh, he just said he didn't trust it because they rushed it. He felt like they rushed it. And it's however they did it, it's working. The cases are down, the casualties are down. It's working. If we all take it, like we get rid of it. But if people are holding out, it's gonna hinder us getting back to some kind of sense of normalcy.
They
So
say it was rushed, but it wasn't. They've been that COVID.
It's been a year.
It's been well, yeah, but they've had that study for 10 years. They've been working with that type of virus. We're in a different mutation now. That's
Yeah.
what's going on. But the science has been backed up for years. They were able to rush it because they had the science already backed up.
What I was explaining to him as well, it's like we're in a different era now where our technology has advanced so much where you can get a vaccine out like as fast as they did. We're
Yeah.
back in the Spanish flu time. They didn't even know what a vaccine was back then. And they had to just ride that out, and it killed, I think, 30% of the population. I think I don't know
Something
the
like
exact
that.
numbers, but
But
it
you know
killed
what?
a large millions of people.
Yeah, a lot. And back then, people still did not want to wear masks.
Yeah,
As it was back then, it's still happening now. It's just
yeah,
people are ignorant, and it's going to be like that forever, unfortunately.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, I know. That's pretty sad.
Yeah. Well,
I always tell people, hey, you know what? If the mask bothers you that much, next time you go to your dentist, get an operation, get anything that has to do that they're going to open you up, ask your doctor. Don't bother wearing a mask because I don't believe in COVID or viruses or bacteria.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
hey, what do I know?
No, that's all good, man. Well, yeah.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to change my DNA right now with this.
I don't know. My 5G's been off the wall since I got mine.
That 5Gs, man.
5Gs. But no. So yeah, I'm kind of at a stump now. I don't know what to. So no one else does anything. Like Jose, just the 3D thing you're making.
3D printer. I wish it's an easy thing. It's a lot of settings. I've been testing it since I got it, and I still can't dial it. Where
Wow.
I did this little test cube,
Mm-hmm.
and then the bottom of it keeps getting you can't really see it, but it keeps getting burnt or where the edges aren't really clean. And it happens on the bottom, and then on top you
On
can't really
top.
see it, but there's holes, and then it's really brittle. Sometimes it's brittle, sometimes it's not. It's tricky. I went on this website that tells you everything. Like if it's doing this thing, change this. If it looks too droopy, change that. And there's like 50 different things that can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So just test and test until once you get it right, you're able to print. But then that's every object you print is different. Every filament you buy is different. Heck, even if the temperature of your room changes, it could affect your print. So you constantly have to keep adjusting.
Oh, wow. So there's a ton of
So-
variables.
I mean, this is just from what I'm reading, but there's people that they dialed it down. My brother, he's got it down to a T already, so he's able to print really good stuff. He printed a skull, not as big as one, but maybe about half the size, and it's a D&D skull. He opens up from the middle, and it has where you can put the dice, closes it up, shakes it, and then they fall right out of the eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool because he printed it in a gold filament. It looks really cool.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So maybe see if I can post it for you guys later.
All right. I'd
But-
like to see that.
What you
3D,
trying to print right now?
3D printing, bitch. But hey, I'm trying to figure it out.
So it's just
What are you trying to print?
Yeah, go ahead.
What are you trying to print right now?
So right now I printed a little RC post to hold a bumper for an RC that I already have, which I'm getting it right now. I just peeled it off. So it's just a little post with holes in it.
Mhm.
But see, this is where I'm having a trouble. You can actually see
Oh,
through it.
yeah, it looks like Swiss cheese.
It's look at, and I put it's already breaking, so this prints no bueno. But But yeah, it's just like my brother. I gotta keep asking him like, what is he doing on his printer? Because we got the same ones. His works
Oh.
perfect. Mine is like, I'm just having issues.
You sure it's not just your model? Like you got a defective one?
I mean, at least I got it through Amazon. Maybe I can ask them, hey, it's not working.
Send me.
Have you guys have any problems with this one? I updated this firmware. Doesn't seem to help. I don't know. I just might return and get a new one again, or buy the upgrade version of it. Supposedly prints better, and it's got auto level bed, so that way it knows exactly where to put the filament, and not where I have to keep adjusting it every single time I print. So I'll probably end up doing that. Return it and get another one.
Well, hopefully
That's a good
you
thing
figure
about
it
Amazon.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I like that they let you do that. They'll let you return it.
Yeah. So that I mean, you could buy it from the website. It was like, I think it was like 10% cheaper. But then I was like, what if I can't get it to work right or something's wrong with it? I'd rather just get it through Amazon, pay the price for it, and then I can just return it if I have to.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, speaking of things you can get on Amazon, I'll just use that as a segue.
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
So, last episode, like, because we recorded on the Friday or Saturday. We recorded before Monday. I forget what day it was. 24th. Whatever day that was. I figured there'd be a Falcon and Winter Soldier pop, and there was. I just had to wait for Monday, and they're pretty sick. So, this is the non-exclusive ones. It's Captain America, Sam Wilson one, U.S. Agent, which I might end up buying because I don't want the John Walker one, but this one I might get. And then Winter Soldier, but it's in Zone 73, so that's just, I guess that's when he was with the final fight. I'm not really sure, but that's just a shorter version of him. But there is other ones, I just didn't have a picture of them. They're all Falcons, they're exclusives. There's like him with the wings, and then there's one from Amazon where it's not the wings, but the shield it's like repelling bullets. Those were exclusives. I just didn't find like a cool picture like this of them. So, but yeah, we've got some other stuff too, and not just pops. I don't know, post on here. So this is what I call big boy collectibles. I will not get this for a while, but it's a goal to eventually get one of these. So this is a Captain America, but it's a Hot Toy, so it's also Sam Wilson. It's really cool. It's got really nice posables. It looks pretty realistic, and I like the one of him in the wings. And I'll send you guys a picture right now so you guys know what I'm talking about. Cause
Okay.
you're probably like, what? So send that really fast.
I seen a whole video on it already. It's legit. I think the wings are actually vibranium.
How much is it?
$375.
$375.
So that's I just sent you the wing version. That's like if I got it, that's what I'd pose it in.
That's legit right there.
And then let me send you guys the other one.
That's pretty cool.
It's a foot tall, yeah. It's a 1/6 model, I think they're called.
Yeah, 1/6 scale.
Pretty dope.
Like I said, big boy collectibles. One day I'll get there.
Yeah.
So I have another. Go ahead.
I guess according to Hot Toys, this is on the higher end side. Sometimes they go for like $299, so or in the 350 and lower range.
Yeah.
So at 375, it's a little bit higher, and I'm thinking it's because of the wings and the shield and all and they give you a bunch of different accessories as well. So I'm thinking they kind of put a lot of stuff in this this batch.
Yeah.
This model.
It's worth the money. If I had it, I totally would.
Yeah.
And then I have another Hot Toy too. It's Bucky. So I only have one picture of him. He's got realistic, the same as Falcon. His pricing though I couldn't find. I don't know if he's $375 or the $299 one. But let me show you guys. Did you see that one already? Tommy?
I've seen the Bucky one. It looks pretty cool. I like the OG one. I like the Winter Soldier one from the movie with the mask. So that's my favorite. Bucky. I mean, I know it's not the current version of him, but this is cool. Like his head sculpt is legit. They got his vibranium arm on, like down, and the gun and all that stuff. It's cool, but I do like that original model with remember we seen the pop with mask on, he's holding the shield.
Yeah, the one the shield that they did this was an exclusive.
Yeah, they would do that one in the Hot Toys version or what I collect my Nendroids.
I think there is a Hot Toys Winter Soldier with the arm, but it's I think it's a Civil War Hot Toy. So.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you can still turn it into like the Winter Soldier from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America Winter Soldier in the second movie. So, but yeah, that's the 2 Hot Toys that I got, and then the final thing is up Tommy's alley, and I might get it. It's the Winter Soldier and the Android. So I'm gonna send that to you guys too, so you can know what I'm talking about.
That was cool. They have the other one with the mask on that. That looks even cool there.
Yeah, it comes.
I think the one with the bottom part looks better. With the eye showing, they look like they put eyeliner on the eyes. They're legit.
Yeah.
Do some makeup.
Oh, Tommy, you collect those?
Yeah. I'll send you a picture of it. I got a bunch of those little things.
Yeah, he's gotten really into it. So he's the reason I have mine. So
I bought Eddie and I try to peer pressure Eddie and Paul into collecting them so I get them off for like Christmas and stuff. But it doesn't work. Paul
it didn't work for Paul. It worked for me.
Head.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones that I want now. Star Wars ones too. So
if they had a Jay and Silent Bob one of that, I would probably buy that.
I don't know if they do. They might.
Maybe.
You know what? Mostly when they started that company, they started just doing anime. So if you're in an anime, they have a bunch of the anime ones.
I am. I just don't want to pay for them.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
They're expensive.
Yeah, I try to get them when they're on sale. Or what I'll do is I'll buy them open box. So because I like to display them, so I'll buy them where somebody already had them already, display them, and then once sell it to make room. So
They're
I'll get it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually expensive through those those anime ones.
Yeah, well the Winter Soldier one, to pre-order it right now from Good Smile is $90. So.
Damn.
But this one comes with 2 bodies, so.
It's a deluxe version, so yeah, that's why they charge you more money. The other version, I think, it's like $60 or $70. So. But I wait till, like I said, I'll wait till they go on sale. Like that sale they had that one day, or everything was half off. And just pick them up that way.
Yeah, the pre-order for this one opens like in June, and it's supposed to release December or January. So.
Yeah. Although you're not collecting anything right now? I know I went to your pad one time. You had a bunch of Spawn figures.
Oh man!
Did you have to clear all those out in the wedding or what?
I think I kept some. I still have a barrel that I haven't opened yet. Literally a tall barrel of Star Wars, Spawn. I think that's it. It's Star Wars and Spawn. I mean, I've been collecting some of the, like some of the new movies that came out for Star Wars. Some of the vehicles, some of the starships. I think I picked up one of the speeders that came out in Solo. I picked up the speeder that he drives, and then one of the stormtroopers is driving that silver-looking speeder.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I think I got that. The Falcon from Solo, but they're like the little ones, not the big old thing. And I haven't been collecting as much as I used to. So I mean, I'm paying for a house now. So
yeah, no.
I feel you.
Maybe I'll 3D print some stuff, but if I ever get it to work.
Yeah, definitely. So
you probably do a better job.
Most likely, and in some stuff, yeah, some of those sculpts are really bad, and I've seen people have better 3D prints of stuff than what's being sold. And I know you're in that class, Jose. I know for sure you could do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I figure that there's ways of making your 3D print better using a resin fill. So you like paint it over it and then you sand it down to makes it where all the lines are disappeared. But this as soon as I get this damn thing to work, and I'll get started. Right now I'm in the test phase.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last thing we have for merch, and then we're just gonna segue into the trailer for it, is actually Shang-Chi's stuff also dropped on Monday. So it's gonna be his Legend figures. So you can get Shang-Chi himself, Katie, and then the Death Dealer figure. And then the other ones that are in the line is the villains. It's Wen Wu and Xia Ling. So we'll get into that in a second. But Wen Wu is the Mandarin, and I'm not like Xia Ling. It's speculated what she is, but these are characters that are going to be in the movie, and like with all Marvel Legend figures, they have a Build-A-Figure. So, but yeah, that's cool. It's pretty much what we have. Go ahead.
Do you know what the Build-A-Figure is?
I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find anything on it yet, because I guess there's two. Because you know how when they make those, there's always like
Kingpin.
No, it's not Kingpin.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it up.
He's wearing the green suit. No, it's not Kingpin. But I don't know. It's because there's two other figures in there. But I'm trying to find if someone did the back of the box, and I couldn't find like a clear picture. To see what it was.
All right.
But no, so it's cool. His pops also dropped too. So I just tried looking. Yeah, all the stuff came out for it already.
They have to be careful. They have to be careful when they release the merch before the movie. Then sometimes the merch spoils the movie. Like
that's why I didn't put the pops on here. Yeah, because I didn't want to spoil anything. So there's some stuff and some pops. So that's why I didn't put those on here. And then there's Lego sets too that came out that are already kind of Legos are hit and miss though, because I know that the Avengers Endgame one, when it released for the Lego set, at the compound fight, it had like Captain Marvel with long hair, which obviously wasn't in the movie. So, but I remember like everyone freaking out, like, oh my god, like he attacks the Avengers compound, which was kind of true, but not really, because then the Spider-Man Lego set for Homecoming had like a bank robbery with Scorpion that obviously wasn't in the movie. So, you know, it's hit or miss with the Lego figures because it's Lego. But yeah, so we'll talk about the teaser now. So everyone saw that one, right? Shang-Chi teaser.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts? What do you guys think?
Looks solid. Like, I like the coloring. I like the look of the wire work that they have on there. So it kind of looks like the old school martial arts, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type action. So I can't wait to see how they incorporate that with like the Marvel universe. So to me, looks fine. Aquafina looks funny, so I dig it.
Anybody else or similar thoughts?
The Shang-Chi is supposed to be the greatest fighter in the Marvel universe, so I have high expectations for this movie as far as action goes. So we'll see if it lives up to it. Like Paul said, they did some pretty cool scenes in it so far, but it's just like I said, the teaser they didn't really show too much, which is good. I don't want to see too much. We're gonna watch the movie anyway, so I don't want to be spoiled. But hopefully, it lives up to the expectation. So.
Your expectation.
Yeah, your expectation. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up liking the movie. So.
Shang-Chi's name is not Mad Dog from the Raid. So
yeah.
He's not the greatest fighter in the universe.
He's the greatest fighter in the Marvel universe. Like that's
not in the Raid universe.
That's his superpower. That's his superpower. Like that, they say he's such a great fighter that they consider that his superpower, pretty much. So better than Iron Fist, better than Wolverine, better than Cap. Like he's better than Black Panther. So yeah, that's his
MO.
Yeah.
Jose, do you want to add anything else?
Well, I mean, the actual Shang-Chi, I have no idea about the character. Never heard of him. This is like brand new to me. As someone that doesn't know about this character, I'm willing to see it. I am a big fan of martial art movies, though, so I have pretty high expectations for movies that come out like this. As I was watching it, I'm like, wow, the stunts are really good. I mean, I'm assuming Marvel can do a lot more than those old school kung fu films that I used to watch growing up as a kid. That sometimes now that I watch them, I'm like, really? I used to watch this and enjoy it. But
Yeah.
visually, there was a scene where there was this water effect that just stopped in midair, and I was like, that looks pretty sweet. I did like the rings. Are they talking about the Mandarin rings?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this looked like they're gonna use the rings, but they're like geared to where the forearms are at. Which I'm assuming those are the same rings, right?
I don't know. So the thing is, so that's why I wanted to wait till like give it its own thing. So I looked up because I got really excited about the teaser. Because I actually, because of I told you guys about it. I didn't talk about it on the podcast, but Simu Liu, the actor, his show that he was in that unfortunately got canceled because the writers just got burnt out, which sucks because they like were it's a really good show. So then when it comes to Netflix, the 5th season is the last season. It's called Kim's Convenience. It's on Netflix right now. For like us, it's a Canadian show, but we get it when it's done, kind of like a Rick and Morty situation for Hulu. We get it on Netflix, but it's a really, really good show. So like because he got casted at when we went to Comic-Con for it, and then I kind of like I kept hearing about that show. I was like, I'll watch it, and then I ended up liking that show a lot. So like when this came out, because he's been wanting the teaser to come out for the longest time, and Marvel kept trolling him, so they released it on his actual birthday, and he didn't think they would. So because they like joked with him, and they're like, yeah, happy birthday, here's the teaser. Because I guess it was supposed to be at what was there was another event that everyone thought it was gonna be at, and then he was like, yeah, I guess there's no teaser, guys, sorry, because they had told him, yeah, we'll put it, and then at the last second they didn't do it. So he's been like had all this hype. He's like, I promise you it's a really good teaser. And then when it finally happened, I'm like, oh, this is really good. So then I looked up, there's a Variety article that basically broke it down, that was like why this was a big deal, because of it, everything that's going on, unfortunately, with like all the Asian hate going on and everything like that. And then so it was because he had posted a thing like, hey, since I'm going to be a superhero, please stop the Asian hate. And then it was like all this other stuff. And then they brushed out like what the movie's inspired on martial art wise, what its bigger picture is in the MCU, and the biggest thing in the teasers is Wen Wu, which is the name of the Mandarin. They changed the name based off what it was in the comics because it was a racial stereotype. They combined that character with Shang-Chi's actual dad. So in the MCU, Mandarin is his father. So they did change that out. So and this is the first time they did that, obviously with the whole Falcon and Winter Soldier thing, Sharon Carter and the Power Broker are now one person, and same thing with White Wolf and Winter Soldier. That's a different character in the comics, but they're mixed together. They mix things up all the time, like Ego being Star-Lord's dad. So it's just another MCU change that they made for the world. But the difference is like it is still gonna they said it's gonna still, like in the comics, do the mythical thing. So a lot of people are hoping that the character Fang Foom, the dragon, might be in it, hopefully. But yeah, from what Simu Liu was saying is that he literally, I guess he had tweeted at them before about like wanting to be in the MCU, and then when he was at Comic-Con the day before he was at Comic-Con, they had casted him. That's why he had just showed up, and then he's done his own he's doing like his own stunts and everything. So it is strictly all martial arts. So that's like him doing his own stunts for the most part. So that's why it's like it's been one of those things. It's a passion project. And then if you end up watching Kim's Convenience, I want to say it's the 3rd and 4th season, you can tell when he starts like working out for it, because his body is just like more physically fit. Then you can see the transformation. It's kind of like the whole thing. And if you guys watch Parks and Rec, like in season, what is it, like 5 or 6, like literally like Chris Pratt is like fat one season, and the next episode, the start of it, he's like skinny because he's Star-Lord skinny, and they use the reference that he just stopped drinking beer, and that's why he's like physically fit now.
Oh crap! But I can't put this one down though.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I guess Awkwafina, Katie, she's like an original character. Her figure has a bow and arrow. I don't know if that comes. That wasn't like in the teaser, so that's why I was like, maybe I shouldn't show the Legend figures, but like again, same thing. Sometimes the figures end up showing stuff that's not in the movie, so maybe that's the same case here. But yeah, it's interesting to see where they took it, because I guess the Shang-Chi's been around since like the 80s, and I guess when Stan Lee was alive, they were trying to cast Brandon Lee into the role of Shang-Chi before the whole, like, I guess it just got canceled, and then he ended up doing The Crow, and then, but it's been around for a while, and he is like Tommy said, the number one fighter in the Marvel universe, but his real life inspiration is actually Bruce Lee. So we'll see. Like I'm pumped for it. What it does in the bigger picture, because my biggest gripe, I've mentioned it before, is I hate Iron Man 3 for the fact that they made the Mandarin look like a punk bitch. But I don't know if you ever saw the short film, Jose, that was, I think it was with Thor Dark World, that it was like they ended up revealing that the Mandarin is real, and that's where it comes into this. So the Ten Rings, they tied it into him, so they'll see the organization, why like Shang-Chi left it, and he doesn't want to be associated with evil, which is basically the whole movie is. So Legend of the Ten Rings. So it's just cool to see that the like technically Iron Man's like Joker finally make it into the MCU. So, but yeah, I'm super excited for it, as you guys can tell.
I think it's gonna be just a straight origin story, though. I don't think they're gonna tie it in with anything. I think they're just gonna introduce the character, and then maybe a crossover later down the road.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I just think like the one thing, because I said it to my sister yesterday, ironically, riding Guardians, because even in that ride, like if you guys just go just for like, that's why, like, if you've never been, Tommy, it's gonna be dope. They had stuff from the MCU that movies weren't out yet. They still had stuff already in that ride. So that's why, like, every time I was telling my sister, I'm excited every time a new MCU movie comes out, to see what part of it is already in this ride. So that's the cool thing. Like, they did that with, like, if he ever becomes a thing, like, there's already a thing for Namor. If Namor is actually if they're gonna make MCU, there's already, like, that stuff in that ride. And so, like, they did that with like Thor Ragnarok, because it came out before Thor Ragnarok, so they already had like why am I forgetting his name right now, but the Collector's brother, they already had him in there. So
Collector's brother,
I'm drawing a blank right now. What's his face? Help me out, guys. I'm forgetting his name.
I don't know.
No, it's in Thor Ragnarok. He's
Wait, the dude, the Grandmaster?
Yeah, thank you, Grandmaster. I'm freaking like brain farted right now.
When you said Ragnarok, I was like, that's the only guy.
Yeah, because he's a Grandmaster. Grandmaster is in there. Like there's a picture of him in there, and that was before the movie even came out.
So there's a picture of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum and Benicio del Toro. Like they're in there. So
I didn't know they were brothers. That's cool.
Yeah,
learn something new every day.
Well, the MCU characters, not Benicio del Toro and Jeff Goldblum.
No, I know. I know.
But yeah, no, it's yeah. So that and I was a little sidetracked, but as far as like the bigger picture, like, because going back and seeing MCU stuff and seeing where it fits in the bigger picture, even with like side characters and stuff like that, it'll be cool to see like the Ten Rings in like show up in this movie and where they were in the previous films. So yeah. So with that said, we'll just jump into the other topic now. Came out last week. What did I do with it? I have its box office results. So it's its first week. It's been out technically 6 days. Oh, and then that's I don't know, what's a good name for a Mexican rating?
Ruben.
Ruben. So that's what they with this rating hat to talk about it. Domestically, it's done $23,302,503. It played in 3,073 theaters. It was number one And the number 2 is actually Demon Slayer, which was an anime, so it was actually a martial arts weekend. And then worldwide, it has done 51,102,505. So that's making its international release right now 27,800,000. So that's just the first week. Don't know if it'll keep the trend going. Unfortunately, its rating has been going down since its opening weekend. When I saw it, at least on IMDb, its peak was 7.2. Right now, well, my yesterday, let me see if it went down. Every day it's been going down. Yesterday it was like a 6 something. I think it was like 6.2. Let me see if it's still like that right now. Oh, it went up by a thing, so it's going up and down. 6.3 right now. And then Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score was 80% and the critic score was 50. So it's one of those, like, the audience likes it more than the critics, or depending on who you're talking to, they hate it. So I will tell you guys I liked it. It's in the middle for me, and I'll get into more detail, but where are you guys fall on it?
Overall, I liked it, but I felt kind of let down after watching it for some reason. To me, something was like missing. I don't know if it's the main character, Cole. I know he's more of a tie-in to do new video games more than anything. But I don't know. The trailer definitely seemed like they learned how to like make a video game movie, or at least set the tone for it.
Mm-hmm.
That tone wasn't exactly in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
But overall, I think they did most of the characters justice. I don't think Goro should have died, by the way. I think like he should have been at least in the sequel, hopefully.
Well, he could still be in the sequel. So
yeah, but yeah, I wish that he. I didn't like the end. I thought the end just seemed kind of rushed, where they're like, "I'll fight this guy, you fight that guy," and then fight, and then that's kind of about it. So there's just issues with the movie, but I thought, what's it called? Do you guys remember Mortal Kombat Legacy that came out from Machinima?
Yes.
I thought that one was better, and they're doing it like in smaller segments and stuff. I thought something was like missing with this one.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
It's watchable.
Okay, Jose, where do you feel?
Where to start?
Oh wow.
All right. Well, let's start with the good first. So, opening scene, the whole part of where in the Samurai Japan, that was awesome. I love the way they shot it. They look authentic. The guy that played Scorpion, I mean, he's always been in other movies where he plays a samurai, and he plays it really good.
Yeah.
I like that part. I love the way some of the characters looked. Some I did not. Definitely Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and those armor pieces were pretty sweet. But then, like, little by little, I was like, "Oh, here we go with the Hollow Earth thing again." Like, I was getting to the point where it wasn't like the movie. It was like certain shots didn't seem like they put them together that well.
Yeah,
there were scenes where
a lot of jump cuts.
Like jump cuts, like the part where Sonya Blade, like she like tells the guy, "Hey, throw me a blade." He throws it, and all of a sudden she's already stabbing Reptile. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, well, where's that part where it goes in? Like, it just, there were scenes that were jumping too quick, or it just wasn't edited right. I mean, that kind of seemed kind of off for me. Some of the stuff I was like kind of weirded out. I mean, one thing I did like, I thought Kano was hilarious. He was making me laugh the entire time.
Hey, new guy. Get me out of here, I can help you.
Just sit tight.
I was about to go for a stroll, but maybe I'll stick around, you fucking idiots.
Mm-hmm. Like through the beginning of the whole movie, I thought, I'm like, oh man, what he's gonna say next? You never know what this guy was gonna say, and it was always something funny. So I did like that. One thing that rubbed me the wrong way, Cole Young. I mean,
yeah,
it's a new character, not from a game. It's the new character from the movie, and everybody's like, well, I was reading that article that like, well, they piece it based off the stuff that a lot of other characters have and how his armor came to be. But then I was like, well, when I was watching it, I'm like, wait a minute, that armor seems like something straight out of Guyver. If you ever seen Guyver movie, where it's an alien thing that spawns out and then covers his body into an armor plate.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I'm like, well, wait a minute, they're stealing the powers of Black Panther. Like, he was getting energy absorption every time they hit him, and then he was redirecting it. And I'm like, I didn't like the character, to be honest.
It wasn't armor, it was plot armor.
Yeah,
It was what?
that's a good plot armor. He was saying it's plot armor.
Oh, but I mean, and then like, I mean, the whole Raiden bit, I thought that was pretty cool. They finally got someone to play the proper instead of a white guy every time. I mean, no offense.
No, it's cool.
Shogun. Shang Tsung. I don't know. I didn't feel it with him. Like,
he kept taking me on. It's no offense to the actor. I don't know if you guys.
It felt like I was about to watch some Dynasty Warrior movie, or I'm like, what?
Wow, no. It was weird seeing the actor with long hair. I just kept seeing, Chow from the Dark Knight. I just like, as much as like I know the actor, it's not his fault. It's just like, yeah, the wig didn't really look good on him, and Shang Tsung is like already been casted since 1995, and they redid it in the game. So changing the actor, I kept telling my brother I'm waiting for him to like turn into old Shang Tsung so you can have, the original actor come back. But
and then scenes in the Outworld, I'm like, damn man, this place always looks like it's shot. I mean, you see everything's like it's just mountainside, dark, and then you see a big statue of, I don't know if it's Goro or not. And I'm like, okay, that's all they got in there? That's all they show? I mean, Annihilation, they had better stuff in that one. I mean, I don't know. It's like
that's saying a lot, man.
Dang, dude.
Honestly,
I ripped the Band-Aid off right there.
I just don't.
It was. I think they did. That was obviously a real world shot. That's why it didn't look outworldly, because they just picked like an exotic looking place on Earth.
Yeah, but come on, it's like, it's just a plain old mountain. It's like, it was just plain, and then in the background you just see one big ass statue, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, it's like they just threw it together.
Well,
it seems like from the beginning they were really good with the whole Japan, and then little by little it started like, okay, we have less money, we have less money. Until like, oh shit, we have no more money.
I didn't think I needed to write it down, but you go ahead, say that again, Paul. Your thing.
Do you think it was a COVID thing?
No. I was gonna say I think it's actually a budget thing. So
That's what I think.
I was gonna write down the budget, but I didn't think you guys were gonna. I didn't think Jose was gonna rip on it like that to a degree. So let me see if I can find the budget again, because I know a majority of the budget went to Sub-Zero's effects. So
those were cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I like the part where he's in the street and he's like raising it and then he drops it all and is using it as a weapon. I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool.
I can't find it, but I know that they had budget restraints on them, and majority of it went to the special effects. So that's why it was like practical locations. They figured they could cut some stuff out, I guess. But
another thing I didn't like the way
pass Jose's eyes.
I mean, the whole thing, how they drew their powers out, and I'm like, this kind of reminds me of an anime movie of Fatal Fury, I think, where they fight till they bring some kind of power out, and I'm like
Persona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Kano, it's like, okay, he started shooting a laser beam out of his eye. Like, what are you, Superman now? Like, no mechanicals, nothing. It just happened.
I kind of like how they did Jax's arms, though. Like how in the beginning, where it was just like, it wasn't like all the way there, and then like it slowly built on him. I thought that was pretty dope.
I still don't understand his Arcana though. So was it kinetic energy?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still confused by how those arms grew. But
I like the arms, like Paul. I agree, but when it got to technical, where it was building, now it's building like its own electricity and all that stuff. I'm like, wait, it just didn't match. If they would have kept it where he's like able to absorb the rock and then he's forming his own metal using his arms that are just basic, and then he's forming them into something new off the rock he was picking up. But they started going where it was technology all of a sudden. I'm like, where the hell did technology come from? It's supposed to be ancient powers, not like freaking nanobots. I mean, that's me. I'm gonna take the hat off because it's hot.
All right. Well, before you continue, because I have some stuff to break down too, but Tommy, what's your 2 cents on the movie?
I guess I agree with you guys. That opening scene was pretty cool. It kind of sucks that like the dude's wife and kid got killed, but like you said, the way it was shot with all the action was legit. I agree with Jose what he said about like bringing in a character not from the game, but like kind of creating a character for the movie when you already have like a bunch of characters that you could use in
tons
the game.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could have picked any of those characters.
One thing, Tommy, sorry.
Go ahead.
If anything, that Cole character, the new character, but they should have like somehow he converts himself into a scorpion to continue the legacy.
That's what I thought. I thought he was.
That's what I thought was gonna go.
Yeah, I thought that's what was gonna happen. Liu Kang too. Liu Kang is more of a more prominent character in that series, and he was kind of relegated to like a diminished role. So that was kind of disappointing as well. And then also the guy that played I think Shang Tsung. I agree with what you said as well. I kept on thinking of him as that little rat guy in The Dark Knight. Like maybe he's typecast, I don't know, but he didn't really fit that role. He wasn't the right guy. The guy they used in the first movie was a way better character. He played that character way better than this dude,
he's technically the embodiment of him now. Like, and especially since Mortal Kombat 11 he actually used his actual likeness and
yeah.
Your soul is mine.
It's just cemented it. So that's why. And then he was even in Mortal Kombat Legacy. So so it's like it's kind of hard knowing that the actor's still alive and wanted to do another movie to just recast him. But I mean, there's ways around that if you want to do that going in the sequel. But
and then the way they recast, like the person they used to recast him wasn't the right. He wasn't the right casting. Like I don't know. He was.
Did he fight at all in the movie? Except that he took the soul?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
He sucked the dude's soul out. That was it.
All I know is that they messed up with Kung Lao. He was a good character. He was solid as far as how he looks.
He was the most game-accurate character.
Yes, and they killed him.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the F, man? Like, he did his fatality.
Yeah, he had the
everything.
fatality. The way he introduced was exactly like one of his intros in the game, the new one anyway, where like it's just his hat and then he pops up. Like it was straight out of the game.
So good.
And and the actor that plays him is also like a stuntman and a really good martial artist in his own right. Like I read that he was excited that he got casted at Kung Lao, and he like trained like and changed his fighting style to match Kung Lao so he could say that like I was Kung Lao from the game. Like he wanted to give it that authenticity, and he did really good. And I was really pissed like when they killed him. I was so mad. I was like, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me?" Because like as cheesy like so. From a video game perspective, like there was a ton of Easter eggs and stuff in it, and I know it's cheesy as hell for them to say like test your might, fatality, flawless victory, but I know if I was seeing it in a theater and I read from reviews, that's the parts that people were cheering and shit. So like when he fucking did his fatality and cut the character, she's from like Mortal Kombat, I think Deception, or when she's like one of the later incarnations. He just when he cut her in half and he was like flawless victory. I was like, oh, that is fucking dope. Like I was like, that's so sick.
Yeah.
So,
I did get up and I'm like, oh, they just did that. And I looked at my wife and she's like, oh, that's sick. And I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
It looked good. It looked good.
Oh, what do you guys think about Reptile?
Yeah, that's
reptile character, the one that was invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The effects were cool. I love the way it came in and out, and you can see it's like I don't know if it was his veins that you can see first, and then as it starts to reappear. But then I'm like, well, how come they didn't put him in a suit or something? Or
well,
it's just
so that's the thing. So how many of the Mortal Kombat games have you guys played? Because there's a lot. Like, are
Does
you
he
guys
show
all
up
caught
like
up?
that in one of them?
Well, now I guess ever since Mortal Kombat 4, they actually made Reptile a reptilian. I guess it kind of has to do with the movie too. How he was like a. I remember in the 1995 movie, like he got thrown into that like dead corpse
body.
and then took it over. It was the most like badass fight too, because no monologue, just literally straight to business and kicks ass. But in this one, I don't even know if it's considered Reptile. It was because in the scene before it. That's why I watched it a second time to try to catch Easter eggs and then kind of catch like stuff I kind of missed. Shang Tsung does say send the reptilian, and then they say his name and it starts with an S. So I know that now in like Mortal Kombat they've kind of established that Reptile's part of a race, so that could have just been his race and not the actual reptile. But so the canon timeline that this seems to follow is more of like the when Mortal Kombat it was stopped being Midway and became NetherRealm Studios, so it was Mortal Kombat 9 that kind of like rebuilt the timeline, and this kind of more like what this movie followed. That's why like the Easter eggs that were in the beginning was like Katana's fan was more of like the Mortal Kombat 9 fan that she had. There's a character Kotal Khan that they showed as like he's Aztec. He's basically like Aztec Shao Kahn. He takes over in his absence. He was in there, and so was Nightwolf. If you guys saw when it showed like Nightwolf. So that's just like I guess the storyline this is following. So that's why I get where you guys kind of feel unsatisfied, because when it was over, it was fun to watch, like it was enjoyable. But boy, it ended. I looked at my brother, I'm like, that's it. Like, where's the tournament? Because it literally was no tournament. It was before the tournament. So technically, this would be like Mortal Kombat 0, because if they do make a sequel, it would essentially be Mortal Kombat 1 as far as the game goes, with the characters that are alive for the tournament based off of the new storyline. So Johnny Cage obviously is in the first tournament. Liu Kang. Kung Lao, depending on what they follow, because I guess that's the weird thing, is in Mortal Kombat, they're like, I guess they're like, even in the movie, because this Kung Lao is like a descendant of the original Kung Lao that won the championship for Earthside. And in the video game, he doesn't appear till after like the first tournament. So I don't know if they're going with that thing. Like, and then Liu Kang got the bandana that he wears in the game after Kung Lao died. So I don't know if they're like they switched that for the movie to make it like his motivation to have a more personal fight to defeat Shang Tsung in the sequel, if they do that, because in the game that's considered canon, he does win the tournament and he kills Shang Tsung, which is what the first Mortal Kombat movie did in 1995. So
right,
I don't know. Like, I was trying to piece it, like I said, from like if you like the video games more or less, like you kind of liked the movie, but it's still like it's all its flaws. Because even my little brother was like, I asked him, okay, if you had one word to describe this movie, what would it be? And he said it was mediocre. And so, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's like in the middle for me, it's like a 6.5. Because it was good from like the video game standpoint and the gore, and it felt like Mortal Kombat. Like, it made me want to play the game afterwards. But from like a story standpoint, like as a movie, like it jumped too fast. I agree. Like, there's certain characters that are like, oh, you kind of wasted them in this. Like Goro.
It's like they ran out of steam towards the end.
Yeah, and then there was like certain characters like Reiko is in Mortal Kombat, I think 4, and he was a character that's played by Nathan Jones that literally just grunted and like had the hammer and hit Jax, and Jax was like, "Oh, your breath stinks." Like, it was like whatever. Like, there's certain characters like I really didn't care. There's characters that I was hoping to show up that didn't show up, but I guess they'll show up in the sequel. Like, I wanted to see Baraka, like a good version of him, because the one in Mortal Kombat Annihilation you could tell was just rubber mask. So I'm trying to think, like I wanted to see like a better Reptile. As like these characters that are now based off of the new time they're going, like, were there in the first tournament that technically I guess didn't show up till like games 3 and 4 and all that shit, where like I want to see Smoke. I want to see,
for me, it's Cyrax.
Yeah, Cyrax and Sector.
Cyrax Annihilation, he was badass in that one.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, he looked like it. It just sucks that movie was so like. Well, I guess it was a bad movie, but
yeah,
the Mortal Kombat 3 has been in developmental hell for so long that I guess it was exciting that they finally went with one. And it's funny that Paul brought up Mortal Kombat Legacy, because essentially that one was supposed to be a lead up to a movie. So, and then like the whole studios got bought, and then ended up like WB just ended up sitting on the property. But because if you guys remember, like I know this because like I love Mortal Kombat, so I was like excited for waiting for like a third movie that never happened. But the whole reason they did the YouTube videos was because the complaint for Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 was that, like, the movie's called Mortal Kombat, but there wasn't really a lot of fighting. And it's because, like, you have to... For a movie, you have to develop characters, and you have to build the world. And the thing with at this point, I think it was up to this... It was before... Armageddon had come out. So there was, like, all these characters that have been created and all these lores that are behind characters. So to portray the character correctly, that's why they made the YouTube video. They're like, all right, well, we're making this movie, Mortal Kombat, whatever, if it was going to be the reboot or whatever, and this is going to be the character. So we're going to have Mortal Kombat like the tournament on movie, and all the characters that are in it. If you want to know their background story, watch the YouTube videos. That's basically what Machinima was supposed to do, and it didn't end up happening. That's why like each episode of Mortal Kombat Legacy is around one character, because it was basically like their introduction to that world. So, and that's like, I guess because the guy that originally was Kano like had signed a contract for the movie, and it's similarly with Michael J. White, because he was Jax in the Legacy show. He was supposed to be Jax in the movie, but it all fell through. So, and then the unfortunately the actor who played Kano died, so he, you know, there's just a bunch of stuff that factored into it. But this movie was still like decent. It's just, I guess, the whole Ko Young, the explanation for the Ko Young character was that he was a plot device to literally walk you through the story, so you could kind of see what's going on, so you would learn things as he learned things. So it was, I guess, not super cheesy, if that makes sense. But to give the director credit, this was his first movie. The dude only directed commercials. This was literally his first movie. And I give him credit because in the interviews and stuff, he like really likes the games. And from like the fatality kills and stuff, he got that part right. It's just more or less like he didn't write it, he just directed it. So based off the screenplay that he was giving, I mean, you could only do so much, and I think he did pretty decent with what he was given, considering it's his first movie. So, would you guys want to see a sequel though? Like, would you be cool with seeing the sequel, or you're like, nah, this is like rebooted again? I don't like it.
I'll be cool with the sequel.
Yeah, I'm all aboard.
I will watch the sequel, but balance your budget.
Balance your budget.
It's like towards the end, like the part where who was saying right now that, you know, he was just sending off people. Okay, you fight this guy, you fight that guy.
Yeah.
It's like they just didn't. Like they ran out of money probably, and they're just like, okay, let's just finish it, and then we'll just send everybody to go fight them, because we don't have no more money to explain what's going on anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess because, like I said, when I watched it the second time, it didn't hold up the from the first time. I guess the first time I was so excited to see like everyone's fatalities and stuff like that I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the second time I was watching, I'm like, oh, that's kind of bad. Oh, the acting's kind of cheesy. And it is just like, I don't know. There's certain things like now that I like hear the gripes of everyone saying that Ko Young was kind of boring. Like, no offense to like Louis Tan, but like, yeah, like his character doesn't, like, I really didn't care for him. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh, like especially how he got his powers was just so fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but like Goro is like threatening his family, and now all of a sudden like this armor just pops up, which I still don't understand his power, which I guess it is like Black Panther or whatever, but
it's the Guyver suit. If you ever seen Guyver,
he makes one of the weapons he holds is a nightstick that reminded me of Stryker, and then the other one is like a blade. And I'm like, okay. And then like when it was the blade that formed, I'm like, oh, okay, because he's a descendant of Scorpion. Like you guys. I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna do like the get over here type shit, right? No, he just runs up and he's like, and I'm like, what's going on? And then like he beat Goro, and I'm like, this is supposed to be like the champion of Outworld, and he got beat like by a dude who's barely learning his powers. So it was just weird, and I know that they set it up for the sequel. Because my honest favorite Mortal Kombat character is Noob Saibot. which is now can be set up because that's Sub-Zero's. After he dies, he becomes New Saibot, and they kind of showed that, like, literally, like, when he was taking off the armor, I'm like, oh shit, it's all black, it's fucking New Saibot. And like, I'm sure he'll come back for that, and then you'll have Johnny Cage, which everybody wanted in this movie, and like that was like the ultimate, like, nah, he's gonna be in the sequel if we get it.
You think Johnny Cage is gonna be Van Damme? Played by Van Damme?
I think it's Jean-Claude Van Damme's too old.
Plus, he already played as Guile in another.
You guys know that? You guys know the whole Mortal Kombat video game was based on.
Yeah, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Him.
Yeah, no, I know that. But
like, I just learned that just the other day. I'm like, what? And then I'm looking at everything that I used to remember about Mortal Kombat, like the first game, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, yeah, they literally was made for him.
He did the splits, right?
Yeah, like everything.
The outfit is like not kickboxer, but one of the other ones, like, where he's like, well, I kind of kickboxer too because he's got the raps and stuff. So they kind of like it morphed into something later. But yeah, when it first started off, it was supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, but I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Oh, now I don't remember. Oh well. Screw it.
It's all good.
It's okay. Maybe I'll forget about all the bad stuff in the movie and I'll like it more.
I enjoyed it though. Like, I was able to get through it. I mean, like you said, there were some corny parts in it. It was gory in some parts. Like, I'm not a big fan of gore, but I know that's part of the game and stuff. So like, I don't know. Like, you have to look at it for what it was. Like, it was an action movie. They just didn't really go too much on story. It was kind of light on the story, heavy on the action. And some of those fighting scenes were pretty legit. Like the opening sequence, like well, you guys said, the opening sequence with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Yeah, and then the ending sequence as well, where Scorpion came from Hell and used his blade, and they started going at it again. That was pretty cool. So, like I said, I didn't like the character or whatever, but like, it was enjoyable. I got through it. I didn't fall asleep on it. I don't know. As far as sequel goes, I don't know if they're gonna make a sequel. The numbers you were reading off earlier, Eddie, that those aren't good numbers.
For a pandemic, I don't know movie, they are though.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, based on like the critics' view of it, and I also think they're great characters. They have a great story. Like, Mortal Kombat relies more on story than, say, like other fighting games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. So they have a lot of resources to use, and it felt like they just kind of patched it together. Like, if they would actually like delved in, did a better character development, they could have came up with a great movie based on the characters, based on previous stories. So, and you know that because you play the games. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know what direction they're gonna go in, but it just felt like they wanted to hurry up and get a movie out, and like you said, then it's during the pandemic. Maybe that did have something to do with it, but who knows? I don't know if they're gonna get a sequel based on the quality of this movie. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
The numbers are okay, I guess, like you said, for pandemic, but based on the quality.
Well, I mean, it'll come out to what it does next weekend. If it's something that's able to still keep like this trend, or if it just falls off completely, then I mean, that's literally what you know. Because that's the type of movies these are. Like, usually, like, they'll have like a kick-ass opening weekend, but because that's literally everybody who wanted to sees it goes and sees it the first weekend for the most part. And it's usually like, if it keeps running, it's usually word of mouth. Like, hey, that movie was way better than I thought. And then other people are like, you know what? Okay, I'll go see it because you said it's so good. And that's how it keeps the trend. And if with this, it's not. Because I was going to ask, like, I'm like, I would, and then I kind of wouldn't on it now, seeing it a second time. Like, because my brother asked, he's like, would you want to see it in theater now again? I was like, I don't know, only if I can see it in Dolby. If just to see it in theater now, I don't think I would want to. Like, like Godzilla vs. Kong, of course I want to see it in Dolby, but if I can't see it in Dolby, I still want to see it in theaters just to get the sound of theater, because I know that movie would benefit from it. This one, it's like, even if it was just playing in a regular theater, which I know it will be, I'm kind of like, nah, if I can't see it in Dolby, I really don't. I'm not, like, running to go see it at the movie theaters, which I originally thought I was going to before I saw it the first time. I was like, man, if this movie's really good, I want to see it again in theaters. And I didn't get that that hype after watching it now for the second time. So
Yeah.
Do you guys want to rent out a movie theater and just play Mortal Kombat 1 through 3?
I played that. Yeah. Have you guys not played the new ones?
I played 10, but I didn't get to play 11.
Okay, because like for the most part, like they're really good. I like 9 is, I guess, everyone's favorite out of it. The guest characters have been kind of weird. Like this last one, it had Rambo, Terminator,
Ninja Turtles,
Spawn,
Joker.
No, you're thinking of Injustice. Ninja Turtles was Injustice. Yeah. Bless you. But yeah, I mean it's. I mean, I still like it. Like my favorite character is Noob Saibot. I like main with him, and the customization is a lot better in this game than it was last one, and it's because of like Injustice. So like they kind of play off each other, at least the way they've been making the games. They'll do something for Injustice to like try it out, and then they kind of bring it into Mortal Kombat. But yeah, I mean, as far as to answer your original question, yeah, if you want to run out to play the Mortal Kombat games, I'm down. Because I saw some people doing that. Like they were like, oh yeah, hype playing Mortal Kombat before the movie. So
$100.
No, thinking. I know this is off topic, but I was thinking those Injustice games. They should turn that into like a third-person action game instead of a fighting game. With the story that they have.
What do you mean? Like
I don't know.
Like play like the
like a third-person action game, like a Spider-Man type game. The Injustice.
But like, who would you play as though?
Like how they do it. Like you just pick different characters for different missions, whatever it may be, and then the end boss, I guess. I don't know. I was just thinking that'd be cool there, but just with the story, it's a really cool story. I know it's super off topic, but
no, I mean, because the other thing, you brought.
I think I dreamt about it.
You dreamt about it. No, I mean, I'll say it now. It's like a rumor, but I guess because NetherRealm Studios is supposed to be working on an MCU game.
Marvel, seen that?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And it's based off of Injustice.
I like Capcom's fighting games. I think better than the Injustice series. Injustice has a really cool story. Like the story is probably the best. Story
I actually would like to
game.
see that as a movie if it could be done.
Yeah, well, that's kind of Zack Snyder pulled some stuff from that game and put it in something to his movie, like the whole the bad Superman, all that stuff or whatever. For the future. But yeah, no, that would be great, like Elseworld story or whatever. I don't know, because they have a whole line of comic books based on that video game. So
and all the characters that aren't in the game, and like if they're dead or alive, like it's all in the comic.
Yeah, I think some of those deaths in there are kind of lame though. Like the Nightwing death is really stupid. Like he got hit with a stick and then broke his neck. Like stupid. That was some lazy writing right there. But they could have did it. But they could have did it like better than that. Like it was really stupid. It was like the stupid the death in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show where the guy got kicked. Well, that was even more a crazy death because he got kicked into the wall by the Super Soldier. But
he was being clocked in at like pretty like high velocity. Like I'm pretty sure like the speed of a car. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But as far as
you ever got kicked by a mule?
I've seen videos.
Oh, he didn't listen.
No, he didn't hear. Did you hear Jose's question?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You ever got kicked by a mule?
No. No.
I like how you thought about it for a second, Tommy. You're like,
yeah.
No.
You know what? Maybe, but no.
One of my cousins got kicked by a horse, so like
that's probably worse.
That's worse.
Yeah. I'm not dumb enough to walk behind a horse, so it's stupid.
No, but as far as like Mortal Kombat goes, though, I don't know. So like, I give it a 6.5. Paul, what would you give it?
I'll say I'll give it a 7.
7. Jose?
Yeah.
6.
6. And then
I'm gonna go with Paul. I'm gonna go with Paul and say it's a 7, just because I didn't go in there with high expectations. I actually thought I was gonna fall asleep on it, and I made it all the way through. I had my gripes with it, but overall,
I changed my score.
You changed it right now?
Yeah. 6.2, just because they redid the music and it sounded pretty good.
Okay. The music was cool.
I would have liked the original song in there.
I mean, they redid it though.
They redid it, but it's still the same
Because
song.
it's still called, because the new version is called Techno Syndrome 2021. Because the original Mortal Kombat theme is actually not Mortal Kombat theme. It's called Techno Syndrome. Is the name of the actual song that says Mortal Kombat.
The song literally it plays like it should be in the movies, not like the original one. Until you get to the very part towards the end of the music, it starts
when
a
it's
little
Shang
bit
Tsung
more
versus Liu Kang, yeah. Well, I mean it was peppered in the movie a lot, like the at least the theme of it. Like every time they were doing like heroic things, it was kind of playing in the background. But I will say this though.
That scream though.
The Mortal Kombat, yeah. I guess that's the one thing that I know it was like really like hated by like hardcore people that are like, this movie is fucking stupid, the 1995 one, but the fact of the cheesiness, like every time I introduced a new character, like especially like when Reptile created, it's like Reptile. Like I liked when it said their names and shit. I guess that was kind of missing from this one. Cause like when he says the characters' names, like it was Reiko, and I'm forgetting the one that Kung Lao killed. It was like something with an N, and I watched it a second time and I can't remember. So it speaks volumes to the character. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it just would have been like giving it a positive praise though. Like the characters that were in it, for the most part, with the exception of Reiko and the flying lady. Even Melina got like her power. Like she got her teleportation power that they showed, the thing with her teeth. I think Cabal was really cool. Like his speed was really good.
With his running,
yeah, that was really cool. And he was funny. Like him and Kano, like the actors that they picked for like the dialogue and shit was fucking perfect. Like I think Kano was like the shine. Like in the like beginning when they said that he was like a champion, I'm like, wait, so he's a good guy? And then they had him do his turn, which made sense. But like I think they could even bring him back because of the whole line where he's like, death is not the end path. And in the video games, all these fuckers come back anyway. But the gnome that she jammed in his head at the end, like now if they do bring him in the second one, like I think he'll be the actual like metal cyborg Kano that everybody wants. And I think that's basically what this was like I guess like a twist of Legacy, where it's like, here's like our version of these characters interweaved with the video game, interweaved with the movie. And I think it's like the overall is like, if you like this, the sequel essentially is like the Mortal Kombat that everybody was waiting for, which would be like, you know, Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, all them. Because I will say in the beginning, until like they showed the scene with him when he took his shirt off, I thought like this Liu Kang was too scrawny. And then they showed him taking his shirt off. I'm like, holy shit, this dude's buff as hell. And I was like, wow. So yeah,
like straight up Bruce Lee stuff.
Yeah, and like the for the most part, his look was like that's like when he was without the shirt and everything. That was literally like the Liu Kang from the game. Like it was the exact same stuff. So I guess from a game standpoint, they got that correctly. But does anybody else have anything else to add on it, or no? Did we like kind of kill it already? Like that?
I still think people would watch a sequel just for the fact that this whole thing with HBO Max deal is probably going to be done by the end of the year. So it's still going to make people go to the theater rather than watch it in home. Yeah. So I think people are going to watch a sequel on that one no matter what.
That's the only reason why I think it'll be a sequel. Like I think if this was sold mentally in theaters, yeah, I think like how Tommy said, like the numbers aren't good, but obviously in this landscape in the pandemic, it's different. Like I should have kept track of it, but I don't even know how long Godzilla stayed at number 1. But tomorrow, technically, since being the 30th will be the last day you can watch it in HBO Max and it goes away. So, so it's only for like a month they've been keeping them. So,
did anybody catch the animality that they used?
The dragon?
Oh,
yeah. Was that his animality?
I think so. I mean, there was. I guess there's a bunch of references that people are kind of not like. They're not sure if they were meant as a thing. I guess there's something on the boat with Sonya, but The ones that I know that were Easter eggs were like the ones that were in your face were like Katana's fan. Shinnok's amulet, which is the thing that Kano tried to steal, is a big deal in like the newer games in like 10 and 11. Kodokan. I'm drawing blanks now just because it's like my mom's like, you guys obviously can't smell it, but my mom's making tacos and it's like I can smell it, so it's like making me go over there. But yeah, I mean, and just like I did read some reviews where people were kind of griping about like that they had Melina but no Katana or Jade or anything like that. Like in the newer versions of the games, like the other realms have been shown. So they're from Dinya is the realm, which will have the purple ninja Rain. He's from there too. So I have a feeling they'd be in the second movie and be introduced with like her mom, so like Sindel, Katana, and all those would be like in the second movie because then you would introduce the realm. So I mean, Melina was just obviously like in here to be in here but in like movie, well, in the game world, like she is Shang Tsung's, like he created her, so she's basically like, until she in like 10 when she like decides to roll outward herself, like she's basically his minion until she decides to wise up and not do it anymore. So yeah. All right, Tommy, you checked out? You look checked out.
No. I'm sorry. I was reading something. Somebody I follow on Instagram, their dog died. I was like, oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Watch you see Tommy start crying.
I know.
Hey man, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for that stuff too. So.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna cut it now because I think my mom texted me the tacos are done and.
Let's go. Vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
So, but yeah, that'll do it for this episode.
Far away.
Yeah, you're not. Actually, neither one. All you guys are pretty close, except Tommy. It's like 40 minutes away.
Am I the furthest one?
For me now, yeah. Because it's 20 minutes for Jose, 15 for Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode, guys. And
All right.
yeah, that's it. If we missed anything, geekconclave@gmail.com. For the audio portion, please like it or rate it, whatever you think it deserves. My stomach is growling now, so I'm gonna cut it now. Bye.
Mortal Kombat!
Get over here.
Later, guys.